Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. So I'm starting out the day with Ms. Tisa Tells over there. I don't know where she is in America, but she's in America. And she's a very good YouTuber because she just keeps you gripped. You're like, oh my God, what? I mean, you hear the same information, you talk about it on your YouTube channel, and then you hear Tisa talk about it. It's completely different. You have to admit, it's just, she's good. She's good. And Murad Morelli is good too, which is why they both have very huge, um, very huge, um, what you call it, very huge numbers. The traffic is huge. Anyway, so I was listening to teaser and it says here breaking. William worked with Sun and TMZ to set up Kate lookalike video. Do you see that? And then she had this video from Sunday with Laura or something or the other. I can't read what that is. And I thought it was very interesting. Let's take a listen.
Victoria, in his view, yes, social media has acted in all sorts of crazy ways. It's been a bit like the Wild West, but he was also clear that the mainstream media has played a part in creating some of the frenzy. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you published this front page, I think, which said "Lay off Kate." We can show it, I think, to our viewers. Maybe it'll pop up in a few seconds. There it is. So you were, sending that message, basically saying leave her alone. But then your paper obtained and I think paid for footage of her out shopping in Windsor with William. And then today you've got 9 pages in your Sunday edition all about the story. So isn't that a contradiction? I don't think so at all. No, I was really moved the day of the Photoshop fail when the whole world was attacking her. I just thought it was outrageous. This poor woman was clearly ill and was so desperate that she tweaked a photo, minor tweaks, to make it look a little bit better. So that's why I did that front page, and it was really important. It then changed the narrative.
Wait a second. Wait a
the rest of the
second.
media then started.
Stop. Did you hear what she said? She tweaked the photo. This would be the Mother's Day photo. But did you hear what she said? She said minor tweaks. Y'all can't ignore this, right? We cannot ignore this. If this was a minor tweak, then to me, again, Kate is not, her hands are not clean here because it means that she is better than than she looks in that cancer video. Because minor tweaks to me, I mean, I don't have access to that particular video right now, obviously, because why would I have that prepared, right? But the Mother's Day photograph, she was a glowing picture of health. I understand they said they took it off of a Vogue cover or whatever, which in my view is not a minor tweak. So if in fact that head shot of Kate was taken from a totally different photo, and this woman is sitting here saying that she made minor tweaks, it's a problem. And if the photo was not taken from Vogue, but in fact represents what Kate really looked like on Mother's Day 2024, it's still a big problem. They're lying to us in a very convoluted web of lies that were completely orchestrated and fabricated, which, frankly, for me, my dears, brings into question not just a Mother's Day photo, not just a farm shop photo, but also the cancer announcement photo. Because if they tweaked everything else, can I be forgiven for wondering if they could also have tweaked that pre-recorded video cancer announcement that they tell us is from the Princess of Wales? It just seems like a very, very dark plot that really was very involved, very premeditated, and very sick. So why did they do all these sick things which were fabricated, and suddenly the cancer announcement video, which comes 2 weeks before Easter, so she probably will not be at the Easter services. Well, actually, if they could bring her out in that video, they can put a stand-in and a fake Kate to Easter Sunday if they want. But it just seems like you're asking me to believe what you are asking me to believe and to disbelieve what you are asking me to disbelieve, even though all of it is supposed to have been authentic in the first place, and so much of it is not authentic. It's not authentic. And then you're asking me to just accept that, yes, what you're looking at is real, in terms of the cancer announcement video, even though everything else appears to have been manipulated and fabricated. So it just seems very dark. Let's continue.
Saying back off, Kate. So I don't accept what you said earlier. In terms of reporting the fact that they went out to the Windsor farm shop a few days later, they knew that if they went out there in public, mingled with members of the public, they would be seen and potentially photographed, because everyone's got a camera phone now, and that's how it happened. It wasn't a photographer, it was a camera phone. And of course, I was in discussions with the palace all along with that, and there was no problem with us running those images, and he kind of felt that the nation was desperate to see her. Again.
I mean, seriously? Did this woman just sit there and say not only that these photos are real, this is Kate and William, but that she was in talks with the palace the whole time, and the palace was okay with her running these photos of Kate of Kate and William? So they're still saying that this is Kate and William, and then they're turning around and saying that that was Kate on that bench. How can both be true? How can both be true? And for anybody who wants to accuse me of being a bad person for asking this question, I ask you, what happened to your own brain? It has been addled. Because if you don't see any discrepancies in this woman's face, this vibrant, healthy, young, robust creature, and the pale, pallid, pathetic, sick person on that bench telling the world that she has been receiving preventative chemotherapy after finding cancer subsequent to an operation for something else, similar to her father-in-law, very bizarrely. You don't find anything strange, then your brain is addled. Because that woman, Victoria, just sat there and told us that she was in talks with the palace and that they okayed this video of William and Kate at the farm. So this is Kate and William at the farm. This is Kate and William at the farm.
That message basically saying leave her alone. But then your paper obtained and I think paid for footage of her out shopping in Windsor with William. And then today you've got 9 pages in your Sunday edition all about the story. So isn't that a contradiction? I don't think so at all. No, I was really moved the day of the Photoshop fail when the whole world was attacking her. I just thought it was outrageous. This poor woman was clearly ill and was so desperate that she tweaked a photo, minor tweaks, to make it look a little bit better. So that's why I did that front page. It was really important. It then changed the narrative. A lot of the rest of the media then started saying, back off, Kate. So I don't accept what you said earlier. In terms of reporting the fact that they went out to the Windsor farm shop a few days later, they knew that if they went out there in public, mingled with members of the public, they would be seen and potentially photographed, because everyone's got a camera phone now, and that's how it happened. It wasn't a photographer, it was a camera phone. And of course, I was in discussions with the palace all along with that, and there was no problem with us running those images, and he kind of felt that the nation was desperate to see her.
So the nation was desperate to see her, so you provided us with her. This is her, right? And then 2 days later, this is her. 2 days later, this is her. Two days later, this is her, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think it even looks like Kate anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm now saying that it doesn't even look like Kate. But then I know she's not wearing makeup. It didn't sound like Kate either. It sounded like she was in a tunnel, right? And I don't see how these two people are Kate. I really just don't.
And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
The deeply personal video message ending months of questions.
I mean, it doesn't end months of questioning for me. It raises more questions, people, because when you tell me that William okayed these these photographs from the sun, when you tell me that Kate admits that she doctored the Mother's Day photograph, when TMZ gives us a trip to drop the children off to school with her mother in a car that is in complete and diametric opposition to the facial features of this woman here. But then you tell me that William okayed, this is the important thing for me. The kicker is that William was informed by the son that they saw them at the farm, and he said, yes, go ahead and do that, after his wife admitted to doctoring photographs that got them compared to North Korea and Iran for a lack of credibility, for deception, for misleading the public, etc. And he knows that that's what they're dealing with. And he tells the son to go ahead and publish these images of him and his wife at a farm, which shows a woman that is completely different just in terms of energy, alone, in many ways, but certainly the energy than this woman here. And you're asking me to believe all of these are true. This video is true. The visit to the farm is true. The Mother's Day photo is basically true, except for minor tweets, according to Kate and now this woman, Victoria, at the Sun. I don't know what they said about the one with the mother in the car that TMZ ran, right? You guys, I've seen a lot of things on the internet about the authenticity of this particular video and different things that people have seen. I am not an expert on any of those things. I can't tell you what's a deep fake and what is not a deep fake. I have no idea. I can only tell you that I have nagging doubts about everything at this point, because I don't know what to believe. How is it that everything else is true if this is true, right? And how is it that, or everything else is false? Let's assume all the other stuff was false and this is true. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we're told that the Prince of Wales, William, okayed at least some of these things. He took the picture for the Mother's Day photo. He okayed the photos from the farm shop that the Sun published and allegedly paid over £200,000 for, right? He remained silent when these photos were issued to the public after their credibility was questioned by the international media organizations. He remained silent. He did not come forward to tell us authentically like his father did. When the Russian Sputnik said Prince Charles was dead, they came out immediately with a denial. He didn't come out with an immediate denial. This is not my wife. This is not me. Or this is my wife. This is me. Right? He did not support Kate in any way with the debacle of the Mother's Day photo, even though she said that he took the photo and that she made minor tweaks and she signed off C. Okay. He didn't even appear with her to give this kind of heartbreaking, shocking diagnoses / news to the public after everything that has happened. Again, it's the context, right? I mean, given everything together, the totality of circumstances, the fact that he didn't sit there with his wife holding her hands or one of her hands as she informed the nation of her illness is also, for me, very curious at a minimum. At a minimum, it's very curious, right? Or even to appear with his wife for a controlled 2-minute question and answer from the royal rota. It's very curious, especially because we live in an age where things can be so easily manipulated in the digital realm, right? But what this woman Victoria Newton said about him getting advance notice that they were going to run these pictures, and these pictures were run, and she's standing by the fact that that was Kate. And now you're asking me to believe that this also is Kate. I'm sorry, this is a lie. The whole thing is a lie. The whole thing is a lie. Something horrible is going on here. This is very dark. This is very just nuts. And when you consider the fact that this is coming from the Prince of Wales, this is coming from William, I mean, this seems to have been his brainchild. You really just are flabbergasted. And the entire global community has just accepted what they're saying here. How do you know what to believe? Which ones are real and which ones are fake? And how do we know? How do we know?